When Tama, my grandmother, was alive, she would tell me amazing stories of her youth every night around bedtime. Her ritual of dabbing an almost entire bottle of talcum powder was followed by a little exercise where she would stretch her tired limbs and apply some cream or lotion. When all that was done, she would recite a small thank you prayer to a million Hindu gods for another day well lived, and finally lie on her back. This was the time when I would bother her to tell me stories of her childhood. In the darkness of the night, her voice would trail off to a distant past as she recalled memories to share. Tama was born in an affluent family of Bakchis in a place called Chamari, now in Bangladesh. The Bakchis were Barindra Brahmins, aristocrats, and therefore the daughters were only taught at home and married off to other households of a similar caste and financial status. The alliances would start coming as soon as the girl reached puberty. Tama could never recall how Dadu's alliance came to her, that is, my grandfather's. My grandfather was a zamindar from the decorated family of the Khan Bahaduris of North Bengal, and he had pledged his life to the nation, and marriage wasn't quite a prospect he was considering. When the alliance was fixed, Dadu put up a condition and said he would only say yes if he saw and liked the prospective bride. Tama's consent was, of course, not asked. But there was a slight challenge here. Daughters of respectable households did not present themselves to the public and no male who wasn't a relative. So they were not allowed in the inner quarters or the Andar Mahal. Their movements were restricted only to the kacharis or the living area, where the public area. Now, Dadu made a plan. In a situation where he needed to be undercover for a while from the British forces, like I said, he was a freedom fighter, he sailed across the Atrey River with his comrades to Bangladesh. He landed in Chamari, dressed as a sadhu, and visited the Bakchis along with his well-camouflaged friends. Now, the Bakchis were a hospitable, God-fearing family and received this spiritual entourage with open arms. A lavish stay resplendent with good food and shelter was arranged for them. There were no conditions or timelines for them to leave. Moreover, they had access to the inner quarters. The women in the family were tasked to take special care of the guests, cook and serve for them. Tama, who was now getting trained to be, taking the matrimonial responsibilities, was also one of them. She recalled how she found the mannerisms of one handsome young sadhu in particular suspicious. Every time she served him food, he would look her in the eye and shamelessly watch her movements. There was something mischievous about those bright eyes, she said. Impudent young rogue, she thought. Then one day, the sadhus disappeared, lock, stock, and barrel. It was only on the night of the wedding, when amidst 1,000 ululations and conch shells, mantras, and floral petals, she finally saw her groom, and then she realized that she had seen him somewhere before. The pseudo sadhu was still looking her into her eyes, smiling mischievously as they exchanged garlands. So that is how my grandparents met. In disguise and very romantic, very mischievously.